This summer, I followed a team to the Cascades Wilderness in the Pacific Northwest to document the frontline, boots-on-the-ice fieldwork that is revealing the emerging story of global climate change. This is the first of a series of videos chronicling what I learned and what I saw.
Dr. Pelto, we're standing over a huge basin here, and up above us is the Easton Glacier, where we spent a good part of the day today. And a lot of this open space here was once filled with ice. Can you give us just kind of a concept of just how much ice was here and how long ago?
So this basin is really confined by this big dirty ridge that dominates your skyline, but also the skyline immediately behind you. And that represents the lateral moraine, and the glacier in building that was right up at that level, and that was back in the mid-19th century. And even up to 1880, people were commenting how they could climb up through the forest and step right onto the Easton Glacier. So the glacier was that much above what you can see is the valley floor now. We hiked up the valley floor yesterday, and you can see how there's a big change in the forests of this valley. You've got the mature forest up above the lateral moraine in the distance, and we've got this prominent knob. And that prominent knob really came out right about 1916. And the forest is fairly well developed there. Then the glacier retreated up onto this flat area by the late 20s. And retreated pretty fast up to where we are by 1935. So as a lot of people know, the 1930s were a warm decade. So the glacier retreated a great deal. And then the retreat continued right up the valley. And then in 1944, in this area, the climate got cooler and wetter. And by 1949, some of the glaciers were advancing. The Easton Glacier here started advancing in '56 and came down to right where our tents are. Just beyond our tents, there's a little moraine ridge, and that represented where the glacier was in 1990. And that's when I began my annual survey. So since then, I've spent 3 or 4 days here every year. And of course, now we can see the very terminus of the glacier is covered by a little bit of snow, but the blue ice is very close to the end. We're within 5 to 10 meters of where the true end of the glacier is. And that's a good 300 meters above camp and where we are.